What's going on? Happy Monday. Good afternoon. Super excited. Anthony Rosa, the community finance coach. I have here my friend Luisa Nunez. Luisa, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good
Thank you
afternoon.
for
Really
having me,
excited.
Anthony.
I know it's so good to be on. It's been a while since we've been on and done one of these, and it's really happy to have you on. So, Luisa, tell everybody a little bit about what you do and who you are, because I know a lot about you. But today we're talking about making better decisions, and who better than you to have this conversation with?
Okay, so I work with entrepreneurs. I help them find clarity and direction in their business through financials, okay, through allocation, through anything that has to do with your business numbers organization. I do that for you. And yes, I've been doing this for a while, 6 years with my own company right now, and I work virtually in the 50 states, and I love educating about finances. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. And I'm excited for you to be here too. I want to welcome our Instagram audience. So if you're on Instagram, let us know. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a live Facebook, live Instagram with a hashtag. If you're watching on replay, do hashtag replay. So why are we doing this, right? Fresh Start Advancement. I'm a financial coach, and for the last 12 years, dealing with individuals with their personal and business credit, I find that sometimes common sense isn't so common when it comes to financial literacy. Would you agree, Luisa?
Yes,
And so,
totally.
would you say, like, with your experience and where you come from, financial literacy is something that we focus on as far as education?
No, because we didn't have nothing to manage, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there can relate to that, right? There was nothing to manage. So, of course, what your parents are going to teach you about finances. So, we have to figure it out as we go. And, you don't have to have it perfect, okay? You can start where you are. And that's what a lot of people have to realize that okay, you recognize that you need to do something in your business. You have a problem, right? A problem, because I always say there's a solution for every problem in your business, right? There's a solution for everything. That's one of my beliefs in my business, and we find that solution for you. So, just for entrepreneurs out there that feel stuck or they feel like they don't have a help, they don't know where to go, they have no direction, right? Just there is a direction for you. You just have to find that person or that professional that's going to help you. Remember, there's a professional for everything, right? So just go to that professional that specializes in that area that you feel stuck.
Yeah, financial literacy is a big piece where people feel stuck, right? From too much credit card debt, um, high rent, high auto loan. Luisa, where do you see a lot of people on your side, right? So you're on the accounting side. How long have you been doing that again now?
Well, on my own business for 7 years, going to be 7 years, but my whole thing working for corporate account, I mean corporate, about 15 years, going to be 15 years altogether.
So you have a lot of insight from the public and the corporate. Where do you feel or what do you think, and this is a general question, right? But where do you feel or where do you think a lot of people kind of drop the ball?
Organizing their finances. I
Mm.
feel like, when you're starting a business, you're so excited and you just don't think about all of the different things that comes with their business. And you just focus on making money because you have to pay bills. But then overall, I feel if you don't have your finances in order, you have no clarity. And that's probably why you feel stuck. And in my experience and all the clients, most of the clients that comes to me, they feel stuck. They are shameful. A lot of time they feel shameful. Some people come to me and they don't even want to share. The people that have come to me and cried because they feel like they don't have a way out. Right? Remember, it's your mind making all of this up, okay? So,
Mhm.
yes, there is a way out and there is an option for you. And I believe this is why we're here today, right? To show you the different options that are out there. And when you're a business owner, oh my goodness, I wish people would understand all the tools and all the opportunities that can open up for you when you have a business. Then again, right, you need to work with someone that can show you the rope, so you can grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think having multiple streams of income nowadays in 2026 is very important. I would love for those that are watching, if you um, kind of are looking for another opportunity or you have multiple streams of income, we would love to know. Comment, put information in the chat, engage with us, right, Luis? So we love to engage with those that are watching. And
Yes.
what do you think now that you talked about that point? What is the solution, right? How do you come in and how do you help?
Well, first of all, we figured out where you are, right? For you to figure out where you're going, you need to know where you are. And most of the time, we start with a business assessment, right? I call it a business health checkup. Let's check the health of your business when we ask you a few questions, right? And then from there, we'll know where you want to go and we'll know what you need. And we put like a roadmap together, a roadmap that's going to help you get there. One of the things that took me a while is to work on my brand, because I just don't want to be an accountant. I just don't want to be, just someone that about numbers. No, it's there's more to it, and I feel the mind, right? It's they say it's 80%, right? 20 is what you put into the work. So yeah, so we start with a business checkup, and then from there we can help you to know, to show you, to guide you where you're gonna go, what you want to be. For example, you want to buy a home, right? So we're going to help you prepare to buy a home. So a lot of people, some business owners, they want to buy a house and they want to think like, okay, I want to buy a house tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. No, you have time to prepare. The houses are not going to go away. For example, right now I'm working with a business owner. He came to me, oh, Luis, I want to buy a house, but he has
Hmm.
so much debt, right? He
Yeah.
owes the IRS. You owe this. I'm like, no, you're just going to get into more debt, right? So
Mm.
let's start. Okay, let's pay off the IRS. Now you prepare. Now you start saving for the down payment, because I feel a lot of stress also comes for finances. If you don't have clarity, you're not organized, again, you're going to feel stuck, and there's a solution for that.
Yeah, I love that you're bringing in the mental health part also with the financial decisions, right? We're talking about making better financial decisions. And in doing so, you have to kind of unpack years and years of bad decision making and, coping methods if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, right? And, I think as a financial coach, you know, I find a lot of people, Luisa, and this drives me wild, do not keep a budget plan. They
I
don't
was
know their
one of
numbers.
those. I was one of those.
Hey, I'm not judging, of course. We these aren't concepts that we come out the womb and we know, but
Yeah,
along the way, you're expected to know better, do better. And there's a lot of
exactly.
things as adults that I feel like we kind of ignore or brush under the rug, like collection calls or debt calls, because we think that if we ignore it, it just goes away.
We avoid. I call it like your nervous system, right? Or like you just had so much and you keep doing other stuff, or you think you're going to resolve it tomorrow. Or, for example, like I have business owners that come to me, oh, yeah, so I'm going to pay this off in next month, right? Oh, yes, I'm going to make $20,000 next month and I can pay that off. I'm like, you don't know what's going to happen next month. So they keep putting it off in their heads. They're making the solution, right? Like, no, this is going, more money is going to come next month. So I'm going to be able to cover the taxes, for example, of next quarter. and then they don't make enough money to, and then they're behind. So I feel a lot of people also, it has to do, it's so much to unpack, like you said.
Mhm.
It's yeah, it's a lot.
And I put there, do your finances scare you? Because it gives you that feeling, right? It's like the lack of control.
Mhm.
And when you have that lack of control and you don't necessarily know where you're going because you don't know where you are, like you said, you start to do the same thing expecting different results, which you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Insanity. And if we really get down to making better decisions financially, I think bringing it back, the budget plan, hands down, is by far the most empowering thing that you can do as an adult or a young adult at whatever age that you're watching this. Because if you don't know your numbers and you don't know your break even, come time in emergency or come time at the end of the month when you thought you had enough and you fell short, not everybody has a safety net,
Yeah.
right? I see
Yeah.
you're nodding your head. What resonates with you at that part of the conversation?
Yes, that I deal with this, right? My clients, and they don't have enough cash flow most of the time, and they pay Peter to, what is it? They borrow Peter to pay Paul, and like you said, it's a cycle. It's a pattern, and that is just surviving. That's not even, you're just surviving every month, and I feel that's where you have to look for help. And like you said, the budget, it's a tool. And I don't like to call it budget, right? Because people
Neither
say,
do I.
oh, budget, right?
Yeah.
I cannot spend. No, it's being intentional about your expenses, being intentional about, okay, this is going to go here, this is going to go there. I don't know if you heard of the zero budget, right?
Of
Where
course,
it's,
yeah. Dave Ramsey?
right, give it a name to each dollar, right? Or give it a category. Okay, this is to invest, this is it, and at the end you have zero. So that way, every month you have a system. I feel like a budget is like a system,
That's
not
right.
really like a budget. Because a lot of people, again, like the words sometimes scare people away. Um, so yeah, so let's call it a tool.
Cool. Actually, what I do, which is funny, I completely changed the name. I,
Really? What did
yeah,
you
yeah. If I do a screen share, I'll show you what. Let me see if
how
I
do
could.
how do you work with your clients? Like, let's say, I need help and I come to you. How did you get to that option? Okay, you need a budget, or like people just come to you and they tell you, and then you tell them, okay, this is what you need a budget, or like, how did you get to
No,
that?
I think the budget is a non-negotiable. First and foremost, the budget is a non-negotiable. The first thing I do is I give a complimentary review. I look at the credit report. I ask a couple questions. What are they trying to do? How soon are they trying to do it? And how long they've been stuck. And that'll kind of like gauge how serious they are about what they're trying to do. And I'm very selective with who I work with, right? We all have 24 hours in the day. I don't feel like I'm wasting my time with somebody. If they don't convert, I feel like I'm investing my time if somebody doesn't convert, right? So I'll give them a courtesy complimentary review. I'll give them a plan. I'll give them agenda. I'll give them a cost. I'll give them a timeline. If they feel that this is something that they feel having a subject matter expert to kind of help them hold their hand, then I'm there for that. And disputing in my world is natural, right? In the credit repair world, we're trying to repair credit. And so the number one way on building your credit is deleting a derogatory remark or lowering your credit card balances, right? Those are the two fastest ways somebody can improve their credit score. So I already know more or less where the holes in the boat are. And so I just try to patch up and reinforce those holes. But I appreciate that question. That was nice.
Love it. And has there ever been a client that has refused to be on a budget, or like they just scared of a budget?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They avoid it a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and I can't push them to do it if they don't really want to do it, right? Or I would say, Luisa, for making better financial decisions, right? Choose a day, whatever day. Choose a day, a Monday, a Thursday, a Friday, a morning, after work, a weekend. Just choose a day where you're going to do a reconciliation. You're going to look at your numbers. You're going to take out this spreadsheet. So I'll do a quick screen share for you. Um, Let me see if I can do this here correctly. But it's when I'm doing the budget plan, it's really all about here. Let me know if you see this.
No, not yet.
You see it now?
Yes.
So what I do is I talk about the person's, like, how they feel in the new season of your life, right, Luisa? Like, I would say the season of you that your life that you're in, how does it make you feel? What if you had good credit, we got you out of debt, and we were able to accomplish your goals? How would that make you feel? And they would start responding with different words, right? And I would say, what are the colors that you see and feel, right? Because I'm a feel see kind of person. I like to visualize. And so here I would color coordinate this, right? And I would ask them, in 5 words or less, can you share with me what your title will be to replace the word my budget plan? So here, this person put my new life dreams.
I
And
love that.
if you notice in this spreadsheet, I make it very simple. On the bottom, I have June all the way through November. So I forecast the 30 days, I project 6 months. And I do this twice a year. So I know my budget plan a whole year in advance.
I
And
love that.
and in here, I'm putting all types of stuff, like everything. I'll keep a couple rows. This is going to give me your total break even. And then I'm going to find a home, right? I'm going to find a home for everything. So for this person, they get paid weekly. It's $3,000 their rent, but they're getting $5,000 a week. So I said, rather than taking 3,000 from the 5,000 to leave you 2,000, which they can obviously do it, but I said, just cut it into 4 weeks of 750 so you could see your money more. And so after I find the home for everybody, all the expenses, it gives me a total weekly break even. And in this
Mm.
total weekly break even, I look at his income or her income, and then I say, okay, look, based off of your income minus your expenses, this is how much you could save. Did you know that? Sometimes I'll say, oh, I can't save that much. So then I come back down to here and I try to show them based off of their expenses and their income how much they can save in that pay period. So now I can say week 1 transfer 2,000, week 2 transfer 3,000, week 3, and you can do auto transfers through your online. So once you get your direct
Mhm.
deposit, just do an automatic set transfer, and that way he really doesn't see his money. It'll just go automatically because he's done the budget plan, he has his numbers, and he could do it the right way.
I tell you, that whole transfer thing automatically is a lifesaver. For example, right? Like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself. So the way I pay myself is I have the automated already transfer. So every 2 weeks, I know, okay, this is gonna cover this of that.
Mhm.
And before I didn't have that discipline. Okay. So because I'm not perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. And we all learning as we go. So I would just take, whenever I need it from the business bank account. And, whenever I need it from the business bank account, we transfer to my personal. And that is like a lot of more work, more stress, right? But now I have a system. I have a system, and I have the budget. Okay, this is what this is going to cover. This is what this is going to cover, and I'm more like at peace because it's just happening automated, automatically. Like I don't
Mhm.
have to worry. My account does not go negative, right? Because I didn't have enough money here, enough money there. So it is a game changer once you have that system.
Right. And so I hope some of the points that we're talking about today, right, just and so important because credit is so hard to maintain and so easy to destroy. And if you don't have the right subject matter experts, especially when you're applying for a loan, right, Luisa? I want to bring up some of the financials that we talked about. Can we do that right now, actually?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
what I wanted to do, and sometimes people, business owners especially, when they're preparing for a financial request, and we'll probably finish the lunch and learn with this part, right? Because we want to break it up into small bites where you could just focus on one thing. So whether it's getting your financials in order, getting a budget plan, monitoring your credit, or reaching out to one of us to help you, right? We would love to help you. Um,
Yes,
I'm gonna do a screen share now, Luis. So can you open it, right? Make it wide a little bit.
it is.
Yeah, maybe on my side, but
Yeah.
okay,
Can
perfect. Yeah.
you? Okay, you got it.
So what are we looking at here? And the topic is for business owners to have their paperwork in order for a financial request. Like Luisa started off, if you're feeling stuck, right? This is a way where doing a budget plan, going over your financials can help you get unstuck, right, Luisa? So, how can you help someone in this demo that you're showing organize themselves to prepare for a financial request? This is super important information. Stay with us. You don't want to go nowhere. Luisa.
Yes. So from looking at this spreadsheet, right? This may be like a spreadsheet to you, okay? But this will tell you the story that is going on in your business. And a lot of people feel lost or stuck because they don't organize their finances. They don't have a P&L. And a lot of entrepreneurs out there don't even know what a P&L is, guys. And this is something that I want you to understand. Financials can open so many doors for you when you have a business. And if you have a business, you have an asset. And when you have that, it's like the sky is the limit. I'm very passionate about this. But anyway, so in this P&L, right? This is the same P&L. You see the revenue, okay? You see the cost of goods sold, right? This is what takes to build if you're working on a product, if you're doing, whatever, this is going to be the gross profit. And this is your gross profit. So this is your margin, okay? And this is after all the expenses, right? The cost of goods sold, you have a gross profit of $510,000, which then you can calculate your gross profit per product or whatever your business is, right? So here you have the most, let's say, the most standard expenses in your business, which is payroll, right? Rent, marketing, insurance, office expenses, vehicle expense if you have a vehicle, utilities, and then miscellaneous. This is just for for education purposes. And then you have a net profit of $160,000, right? From looking at this story that this business is telling you, right? This is your income, this is all your expensive. Do you think this business is healthy, Anthony? Is someone will look at this, like, let's say, I don't know, a lender or anyone, like if you want to apply for a business loan, what would this tell you? Do you think the business healthy or no? Hello? Oh.
Sorry, I was on mute. They're profitable.
Yes, right. So this story is telling you that they're profitable, right? So when banks are looking at your net profit, $160,000, you're going to see that your business is making enough money after the expenses. And of course, with this gross profit, I mean, net profit, okay, you're going to be able to afford a loan. You're going to be able to afford if you want to buy equipment. So this is basically this is the best way to find out how your business is doing. And a lot of business owners believe that this is just for tax purposes, this is just for the government. No, this is for you, for your business, and this is for you to open up your eyes to everything that all the opportunities that you have out there and all the doors that can open with this report. Okay, with this report, well, this is not my business. I have bought houses, okay, with this
Right.
report. But
Right.
this is happening because I do right. Well, I'm an accountant, so yeah. So I do. I work on my P&L, and I don't need my tax return. For example, right? If you want to buy a house with this report, you can buy a house. This report, you can go to and buy a car for your business. With
That's
this
right.
report,
That's right.
you can obtain a loan. You can apply for SBA. So
Right.
you can hire an employee because this tells you that you're making enough money to afford an employee.
Right.
So, so yes, I'm going to stop there because it's too much information.
No,
Uh,
that was good. That was excellent. We were talking that what can you remind them that was a what again? What statement was that?
this is a P&L, profit and loss statement. So when you hear that, right, it's profit, okay? You have all the expenses, and then it will give you your net profit, right? Your in Spanish that will be your oh
Limpio.
my god, I forgot in Spanish, but it's your net profit. So that means your business is profitable and you're making money. Your business is good, it's healthy.
Right. Now, so as we're rounding third base, Luisa, and again, this is information to help make you think, ask more questions, seek professional advice, right? And so, what would you say today, Luisa, would be a call to action for those that are watching? What's a call to action?
If you feel stuck, okay, if you feel you find overwhelmed by your finances, if you have a business and you don't know your options, you don't know where to go, you have no direction, right? You can reach out to me, you can reach out to Anthony. I'm going to share my information. How do we share the information? The chat,
Yeah,
Anthony?
we could put it in the chat right now. You could put in the comment section on your dashboard side, or when you come back a little bit later and you see the replay, you can put your information there as well.
Okay, so I'll do that instead. But yes, look for help, look for professionals that can help you get where you want to go. Because, my friend, your business, I always say there's a solution for everything and anything, and it starts with your finances.
So that's a great call to action. Um, you know, I hope that we were able to inspire, connect, and educate. Um, do you have any final thoughts, Luisa? Anything that from making better financial decisions, right? If you were to talk to the old you, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to ask for help, and don't close, right? Don't close your heart, um, and just ask for help, and the help, it's out there, the solution, it's out there. uh, yeah, just ask for help.
Wow, just ask for help. It sounds so simple, but it's not,
It
right?
is, yeah. What
But
would you tell your old you?
uh, don't listen to your first thought. Listen to your second action.
Hmm, that's a good one.
It's
Huh.
just a lot of times you got your racing thought, and it could be a little bit of doubt in there. And if I was to listen to my first thought with everything, I wouldn't be doing this show right now or be here on this,
Right.
meeting, coaching for 12 years. So don't
Yeah,
don't listen to that first thought.
don't
And in
believe
closing,
it.
don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Push yourself.
That's
So
my
in
you.
closing, I love it. This is great. We always have a quote of the show. And Luisa, can you see it there? Can you read the quote of the show?
Yes, proper preparations prevents poor performance.
You
Ooh,
got it. That's a tough one. The four P's, right? Proper preparations prevent poor performance. So thank you again. I hope you learned something new. Go in grace, go in peace. Luisa, don't go anywhere. Hang out with me in the afterglow. We'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.
yeah.